Hey guys, we made it to Friday, made it to another end of a week. Great to get here, and even better, we're going to be able to get ready for your test that's going to be coming up next week. Day 9 is all about prepping for the test. By the way, that test is looking like it's going to be on Thursday. So the test is looking like it's going to be on Thursday, so just go ahead and be keeping that in mind. But we're going to do things a little different today. Again, we're working with multi-step equations in one variable. We're still solving with variables on both sides. That part hasn't changed. But you're going to notice that really the first half of this day is multiple choice practice, aka test practice. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to let you guys try numbers 1, 2, and 3 for me. And I want you to time yourself. 3 minutes to do these 3 problems. Time yourself and make sure you're able to do these in under a minute, or at most a minute, because as we work, we want to make sure that we're not going to run into time issues on our tests. So you can go ahead and pause the video and start your timer. All right, let's see how you guys did on these 3 problems here. So we start with number 1, combine like terms on the left side, and we have 2 regular numbers we can combine on the right side together. So negative 8x and 3x gives you negative 5x, 7 and negative 9, you add those together, you get negative 2. Now, step 2, we want to make sure we combine our variables onto one side. I like to keep the number with the variable positive, so instead of subtracting 4x over, which you could do, and create negative 9x, I'm actually going to add 5x over here, and that gives us 9x. Well, if the x is now on the right side of the equation, we got to make sure we get everything away from that. So we have a negative 2 on the right side. I'm going to add 2 over there. And so when we add 2, we end up with negative 3 equals 9x, and you divide by 9, and wait a minute, smaller number on top. That means you're going to get x equals negative 1/3. A negative divided by a positive is a negative. So that is B. Next up, number 2. Step 1, do we have parentheses? Yes, we do. If you just see a negative out front, we assume that is a negative 1 right there. So we distribute negative 1 to both of those. That gives you positive 5 and positive 6x. You also distribute 4 to both of those. 4 times 5x is 20x. 4 times 3 is 12. Then I want to combine my variables together. I'm going to move this 6x over, since if I subtracted 20x over, I'd get a negative. So let's take 6x, subtract it to both sides. So 20 minus 6x gives you 5 equals 14x plus 12. If our variable's on the right side, we need to get everything away from it. So subtract 12 over. 5 minus 12 gives you negative 7. So we have negative 7 equals 14x. Divide by 14 cancels, and negative 7 divided by 14 is negative 1/2, because 7 is half of 14. So that would be B as well. Back-to-back B's. Last one, number 3. We're going to distribute negative 3 and distribute negative 6. And that's what we get when we distribute there. Step 2, combine your variables in like terms here. 2n and negative 12n. Also, we have 18 minus 1. So that combines to give you that. Those 2 combine to give you that. Now, let's get our variables all on one side. And this time, I'm going to change it up. This time, I'm actually going to bring, just for fun, I'm going to add 6n over. Now, you could have moved that over too. It's up to you. So we add 6n over. That gives you negative 4n. And if n's on the left side, I need to get everything away from it. So step 3, let's combine our regular numbers. Let me move 15 over here. So we add 15. That gives you negative 4n equals 32. We still got bells even though there's nobody here. So then we divide by negative 4. 32 divided by negative 4 is negative 8. And so that would be A. All right, guys. So we just have 2 left, and I thought I would do these last 2 with you because they're definitely a little bit more of a challenge. So let's work these out together, and let's remember how we solve word problems. So we want to find what is the number. Well, we're trying to find a number, but we don't know what it is. So what do you guys want to call this number? Let's go with, I'm going to be weird. Let's go with Q. So Q is our number. Okay, so let's see what's happening here. Negative 1 times, times the sum. That means we're going to be multiplying an addition problem. So negative 1 times the sum of twice a number, twice. That means to multiply by 2. 2 times a number. That's our number. 2 times Q and 3. So the sum means plus. So negative 1 times the sum of 2Q plus 3 is equal to 2 times the difference meaning subtraction, the difference of negative 4 times the number. There's our number Q again. Negative 4 times Q, and we're subtracting that from, or by, 3. So negative 4 times Q, difference minus 3. Hey, we got a problem here, guys. So I'm going to pause and see if you guys can solve for me. Let's solve. Let's see how you guys did. So we distribute, combine like terms, add the number over to combine together, and then divide, and I ended up with C, negative 1/2. So really, we just have one multiple choice problem left, guys. Let's flip it on over. Let me bring the camera back a little bit. Okay. Now, this is an actual word problem. We know that we're trying to find how much money he needs to save each week. So step 1, I'll remind you of our 3 steps. Last sentence gives us our variable. Step 2, find the total. And then step 3, plug in your variable and other numbers. Okay, so our 3 steps there. So I want to give you guys a chance to see if you can set up the equation. Don't solve it yet. Let's just set up this equation. And then once you're ready to unpause, we'll see if you set it up correctly. All right, what are you guys thinking? Were we able to get it right? So he's already saved $35, plus he's trying to save up for the next 6 weeks, and we know we're trying to find out the amount of money he needs to save per week over these next 6 weeks. So excellent, excellent job if you were able to get that one correct. Speaking of which, let's look at one more word problem, and then I'm going to turn you guys loose on some practice problems to solve that are kind of like what we've seen on the last couple to 3 days. But let's do this word problem together. This might be like what you would see in a normal year on a free response. Check it out. So admission for water park, $17.50 per day. Season pass costs $125. A locker rental is $3.50 per day. So we got a couple per days here. What could be an equation that represents the cost of a daily pass versus the cost of a season pass. Huh. Interesting. What is an equation that represents the relationship between the cost of a daily pass and the cost of a season pass? So we're going to compare these two. This is a comparison. So on one side, we're going to have the season pass. And how much does a season pass cost? Well, it just straight up costs $125 straight up. Now, if we're going to compare that, on the other side, we have daily pass. So we know it is $17.50 per day. That is, let's use D to represent the number of days that we go. So 1750D plus 350. Oh, I did not give myself enough room here. D. I wrote it a little bit cleaner up here, guys. Sorry. So here is our daily pass versus the season pass. And some of you guys are probably thinking, wait, couldn't we add these together? And you're absolutely right. Another way we could write this would be 1750D plus 350D. That would be 21D set equal to 125. So if you wanted to do it that way, you could do it that way also. This is right, or this is right. Either one, guys, either one. Now, how many days would you have to go to the water park for the season pass to save you money? So now we're actually going to solve this out. We're going to say, okay, let's see how many days it would take for it. Now, this is as far as this right now is equal, but how about for the season pass to save you money? So let's solve this to find out how many days we'd have to go for it to be equal, and then we know that if you go one more day, the season pass is going to save you money. So 21D equals 125 divided by 21, and you end up with you end up with 5.95 days. Well, when you pay for a water park pass, you can't go 5.95 days. So we would say that if you end up going 6 days, 6 being bigger than that, 6 days after that, you're actually saving money with the season pass. So that's not many days if you go to a water park over the course of a summer. So I would encourage the season pass there. And let's end today, guys, by looking at some of the more difficult equations that we've been practicing when solving multi-step equations. I'm going to give you guys a chance to try. Let's start off with some smaller ones. We're going to go 1 and 2. And then after that, I'm going to give you guys a chance to do 3 and 4. So these will be our last 4 problems of the day. Let's see what you guys have with these first 2. How are we feeling on number 1? Combine like terms because we don't have any parentheses. Subtract 3 over to get negative 15. And then we divide by negative 5 to both sides. And a negative divided by a negative is a positive. Number 2. I'll leave that there for you. Number 2. Distribute, step 1. Then we don't have any variables to combine, so we focus on our regular numbers. If r is there, we want to move 24 away from it. That gives you negative 60. Divide by negative 12, and a negative divided by a negative is a positive again. R equals 5. Now, next 2. Really take your time on these, guys, especially this one. And we'll see what you got. All right, guys. I thought we'd break up 3 and 4 so I could give you a chance to try these. So, distribute 36V, distribute 6 times 6 plus 36. Negative 5. Then we're ready to, I'm going to go ahead and subtract as I combine 36 and negative 5 together to get 31. I'm also going to subtract that 6V over to get 30V. And if v's on the left side, that means I need to take 31, move it over. 1 minus 31 gives you negative 30, and then you divide 30 by 30, cancels. Negative 30 divided by 30 would be negative 1. Okay, now number 4. This is a doozy, guys. Be very, very careful. First off, we have 10p and negative p. 10 minus 1 is 9. 9 minus 11 will be negative 2. Now, distribute that, and then keep these negatives, by the way. Negative 2 distributed and negative 3 distributed. So negative 2 times 2p, negative 4p. Negative 2 times 4, negative 8. Negative 3 times 2p, negative 6p. And negative 3 times negative 2, positive 6. Man, if we had one more 6, we might actually be in trouble. So now, what should we do next? Well, let's see if we have any more like terms to combine. Oh, we do. Check it out. We've got negative 4p and 6p. And then we have negative 8 and 6 that are all, these are all on the same side here. So negative, so the left side we're not doing anything with yet. So 9p minus 2. And then negative 4p and negative 6p. That is negative 10p. Negative 8 and positive 6. That'd be a negative 2. Oh, and so now we're ready to start combining the terms that are on opposite sides. So I'm going to add 10p over. That gives us, and don't be afraid to come down here. We're not going to be doing that problem. So that gives us 19p minus 2 equals negative 2. Then if p's there, we want to add 2 over. Get it away from it. Negative 2 plus 2 would be 0. Huh. Interesting here. No sweat. We'll divide by 19. And anything divided by 19 is 0. 0 divided by anything is 0. So, man, you guys want to talk about a good, hard working day. We did a lot of problems today, but hopefully you guys really got to practice these on your own first and then see if you were doing them right. And I'm really proud of the work we put in today, guys. If you have any questions, let me know. But first, don't forget, Delta Math. Due this weekend. A lot of you guys have already gotten this one done, but make sure you guys get this done. It is due this weekend. So thank you very much. And I hope you guys have a great weekend.